This one my wife and I built. We just finished it in October 2015 and have been living in it since. And in this video, I want to show you some of the mechanical aspects of it. And we're going to do another video with my wife showing you some of the storage features and other features inside. So let's take a look. So it's a lap siding up here, pine lap siding, and a board and batten. Look here. And the first thing I want to show you is the trailer. I've taken the tires off to help preserve them. But it's a tiny house on wheels. The trailer is a 14,000 pound trailer. It's two 7,000 pound axles. And as you can see here, it's pretty beefy. So there are two 6-inch channel beams that run back here, and then a 6-inch channel that goes out over here. So very nice trailer. And on this side, here in the front by the tongue, we have the propane area. And so we run a furnace, a 20,000 BTU furnace off of propane for heating the house. And we also use the propane for heating our hot water. We actually have a Rinnai water heater. It's an instant water heater. It's 150,000 BTUs. I'll show you in a minute. But here are two 40-pound tanks that we use with a crossover regulator. And during the winter time when we're heating the house, we go through one of these tanks about every month and a half, and then it's $35 to fill them up. So it's very efficient, very cheap, cost-effective way to go. And with the crossover regulator, when one tank's out, you can cross over and be using a full one while you get the other one filled up, so you're never without propane. And everything was hard piped in, gas pipe. Here's the main shutoff valve for the propane. And over here, this pipe goes in to feed the furnace. And then this one, with the shutoff valve and a sediment trap, goes in and feeds the instant water heater. And it goes up through this hatch, which is actually the hatch to get into the access for the composting toilet, which is here. And so this is actually a really nice feature because you can change your composting toilet without having to bring it through the house. And here is the urine diverter. So the urine actually doesn't mix with the compost. It runs out and feeds into the gray water, which is really nice. And then over here is some of the plumbing for the instant water heater. And then over on this side, one of my favorite features, and this is my wife's idea. So on the other side of this wall is the kitchen, and here on the other side is a corner cabinet in the kitchen. And normally that would be dead space, but my wife had the brilliant idea to put a hatch outside, and so that we can have access to that space, which we do. And we actually keep our camping gear there. Works out really well because if it's wet and muddy, we don't have to bring it into the house. We have a place to store it. And in here also is a receptacle in case you need to plug in a light or anything. And also on this other side of this wall is the mixing valve for the shower so that you can get access to it in case you need to change it. And then over on this side, here's the vent for the furnace. So it pulls in fresh air from the outside and vents to the outside. So it's nice and safe. So on this side, here, on this end, we have the water hookup and some of the electrical features. Here, we have a line that comes in from another building that is our water line that goes in, hooks in here. And then we also have a hose feature here so that we can have a garden hose outside. And we also have a 45-gallon storage tank so that in the winter time, if it's freezing, we don't use this so the line doesn't freeze. We actually use 45-gallon storage tank with a water pump, which I'll show you in a minute. But first, here is our 30-amp service that we have plugged in, and this is what we run off of. But also here we have a 20-amp that we can plug into and run the tiny house off of that. So if you move it somewhere, you can actually plug it in right away with an extension cord and be able to use the lights, be able to keep your refrigerator plugged in while you're getting all of this other stuff set up. And then here we have the internet hookup. It's a Cat 6 internet that comes in. And then over here we have an exterior GFI, which is on its own circuit, a porch light, and then motion lights, which are on a switch, so you can have them on and they're motion detected so they can kick on when they sense motion, but you can also turn them off, which we do quite often because we have a fire pit here, and at nighttime we don't want those things to keep kicking on, so we can turn them off. And over here's another one of those motion detectors, so there are 3 in total. And then here is a vent for the bathroom vent, which I'll show you. So let's go inside and take a look at the furnace, which is located underneath the couch here, and it's a ducted furnace. We have 2 ducts that come off and vents here and here, and then also a duct that comes out here and goes underneath the loft here into the kitchen and comes out right here underneath the cabinet so that you get heat under the loft. And then also on the couch are some of the plumbing valves to fill up the water storage tank and a drain valve there. And that storage tank is actually located underneath this office floor, which can be seen through this access panel here in the mudroom closet, which is down here. And it's 45 gallons, and the water comes in through this line and comes in through this water pump, which gets turned on here when you need to use it. And that feeds the fixtures in the house, and it works really, really well. It provides great water pressure for the shower, and then this pipe drains the water tank, so when you're moving the house, you can actually drain the 45 gallons of water. And that pump is a 12-volt pump, which here in the panel box, here are the 12-volt circuits, the furnace and the water pump, and the 110 circuits, which are here. And the 110 is converted over through a converter in here to give you the 12-volt power. And here are the circuits. We have the exterior GFI, a loft circuit, bath circuit, a kitchen, living room and an office, the main circuit, which can be a 30 amp or a 20 amp, the light circuit, and a smoke detector, which is hardwired in up here by the loft. And back here in the bathroom is the instant water heater, and it's a Rinnai V65, and it's propane, like I said. And this thing is really incredible. We've never run out of hot water. We take long showers. It's very efficient with the propane. So far this summer, the only propane use we've been having is with the heating our water, and we've gone for about 2 months now and still have the same 40-pound propane tank. So this thing is very, very efficient, extremely efficient. And here is the back pressure in case something happens. This releases the water and goes outside. You have the 2 mixing valves and the gas supply line that comes in. And just some of the other quick features. Outlets for the kitchen. We have can lights here in the loft, which are each on a separate switch. And then we also have a main light there, which is LED. And then can lights here in the office. And then there's a ceiling fan. And then there are also sconces up in the loft with light switches above the bed to control the loft sconces, and one of those switches above the bed actually controls this light. So at nighttime, if you need to get up, you can actually turn this light on downstairs from up in the loft to be able to get down the steps, which is a pretty nice feature. And so I think that pretty much covers it. We have a 9 cubic foot refrigerator there, a Breville smart oven, and a microwave. And that's pretty much it for the mechanical that I want to show you. Again, if you have any questions, you can just get in touch with us and we can go over it in more detail.